And gentlemen, please go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's our honor today to do the presentation with you. So we are dragon. So speaking of the dragon, actually dragon symbolizes good fortune and holy. At the same time, he also represents some courage and power. So we hope that through our efforts, it could bring power to the school and students. So that is all inspiration of our company's name. Now allow me to introduce my team member. This is Li Xing and Hua Qiang and Yi Tong. This is Ai Li and me, Xue Dan. We want to share with you about our opinion. So next, our group member Li Xing will do the introduction.
So I'm going to talk about depression. Depression is a common and serious medical illness that affect people, like how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. And fortunately, it's treatable. Depression causes the feeling of sadness and loss of interest in activities once enjoyed, and it can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems, and can depress the persons to function and at home or at work. There is some symptoms about depression. A loss of energy or increased fatigue, difficulty thinking, concentrating or making decisions, increased purposeless physical activities or slowed movements and speech. And there is some more, sleeping problem or sleeping too much, and feeling sad or guilty, and thoughts of death or suicide. Thank you. Next one will be Yi Tong.
So this is our stakeholder map. The first is investor. He is the most powerful designer of the school, and he concerned about how to get profit from it. And then there are board members and principal, who are the main leaders of school, and their management will have direct impact on the development of school. Next is students and faculty members. For students, they are the objective of service of school. The quality of the students' education will affect their personal growth and future development. So what they want is to have a good education so that they can get a stable job. The quality of students will also affect the image and reputation of school. And for faculty members, they are the organizer and the implementers of the teaching activities. So they are responsible for training and improving the students. And as school staff, they are concerned about the teaching environment and the student achievement. The marketing manager office is responsible for the school publicity and the environment. And our school is an international school, so there is the international student service to help them. Our topic is mental health of international students. So the first stakeholder is students. When they have psychological problems, they will show anxiety, and this will affect their study and even life. So when their academic performance drops, the lecturers are also responsible. So lecturers need to help them to solve this problem and encourage them to cooperate. And we found these problems in the school now and come up with some solutions. This is good for students and school. When this problem solved, this will attract more students. So that's why there is the marketing manager. This is my part, and I will pass to Xue Dan.
Thank you, Yi Tong. So basically, we are talking about some mental health issues around UG international students. After our survey, we had a few conclusions, which is explained why their emotions are more tend to anxiety and how to solve this feeling of inactivity. So for international students, language will be the first challenge. As we all know, presentations, class discussions, and essays are typical examples of academic demands that may become highly stressful when performed outside the comfort zone of one's native language. But students not only just need to handle a different model of teaching, they also need to accept and complete those tasks that they are not familiar with. And the next will be acculturative stress. Moving on from the familiar to the non-familiar environment, it can be exciting but also challenging. The more dissimilar home and host culture are, the more stressful the experience may become. The third will be students themselves. Some of the students, they are introvert. They're not kind of people who are very talkative, very lively. Usually they are like introverted introverted, poor discourse and poor self-esteem. If plus their English level is low, in all probability they will have like passive, like negative feelings, unstable emotion, like anxiety, depression, or tense social relation with others. So in terms of those current issues, we had some practical approaches. The first will be improve their English skills. We understand school provides language class for international students to help them to adopt this English teaching environment. But as far as we know, students are still lack of relevant capabilities to handle their diploma or degree lessons after they graduate from the language class. So we had a proposal about to strengthen the professionalism of language course and set up a strict selections and examination process for the students. In sum up, school need to focus on how to improve their language skills rather than just help them to adapt this English teaching environment. We understand this is a stressful beginning for international students, but after they pass it, they will have more actual confidence and actual experience for their work in life. This is all like do the groundwork for their after they study. And for the student, from the point of student personal characteristic like introvert or unhealthy emotion, school need to set up a psychological consultation room. When students got mental health problem, they can find help from this department. And also from our data support, there are over 18% students are willing to join different group of learning activity. So we hope that school should set up those kind of group and let students join in. And also school need to make some rules. After students finish those tests, they can earn the extra score for their assignments. Using this way to encourage students be active with schoolwork. We hope through this way it can help students to practice their English and communication skills. Because people in real life, they don't talk like how you learn from the textbooks. And also according to another universal phenomenon, like we found like Asian are only hang out with only Asians, like Chinese with Chinese, Vietnamese with Vietnamese. So we hope like through this work, it can help students to fit in with people with different cultural background. So thank you, that is my part. Next, Hua-Chan will continue.
Thank you, Shana. So in this social, everybody got more or less mental health problems, and depression is one of these. Just now, my group member Shana is talking about the difference in educational culture. So now I will continue to talking about another reason, student personal issues. Firstly, a lot of students just going out to another country, and they will have the dependent psychology. Like nobody can take care about their daily life, and nobody will supervise their study when they are not at school. But in their own country, their parents can do that all. And the life issues, the traffic and accommodation is problem also. Accommodation in Singapore return is very expensive than another country, and the traffic. Some of students don't know how to go another place take by bus or MRT. And a very interesting thing I find is in Singapore the bus will not tell you what station I will arrive now. So the dependent psychology past the life issues will be unable to adapt and resulting in anxiety and will be depression. So how to solve this problem? Our solution is computation or build an international student residence. Computation with some of student residence in Singapore already, or just build a new student residence here. And the student residence is for who? Is for no self-care ability or no self-control students. Student residence can take care of about no self-care ability students, their diety, like traffic problems. The student can take bus to school from the student residence. That means student residence will have a free bus to bring students go to school or another place. And student residence will supervise the no self-control students study when they are not at school. And the most important thing is let most students live in student residence is easier to focus and solve psychology problems of international students. It's better for students study and life, and school also can make money from that. Now go back to our student survey pie chart. The second question we can know have 72% students want to live in school residence. Now I finished my part. I will pass to Ivy.
Thank you, Hua Qiang. Now I talk about the barrier. So, for those current problems that we found, the biggest barrier to solve them is the fund. We need money. For the benefit of the student and their school, it's necessary to set some rules for this change. For example, we can ask a new international student, they must live in school for the first year to help them to get used to living abroad. After 1 year, they are free to leave. Moreover, it's worthwhile investment to school. That's because it's more convenient to the international student and their parents if their school offer this accommodation for them. So also we have the data support. After our survey, more than 70% students want to live in school. So which means it will become a stable income to school. So this is why our company decided to offer this proposal to school. Now I do the conclusion. In order to solve and avoid the mental health problem of UOG students and avoid affecting the interest of stakeholders, so there some aspects need to be improved. The first one is schools should to improve their quality of English classes and strengthen its professionalism. When the students go through the diploma and the degree, they will reduce a lot of pressure. So the second is set up a psychological consultation room. When the students have a mental health problem, they can get help from here. And the other one is set up a student learning activity group. This is effective way to improve international student speaking skill, and they will become more confident. The third is provide accommodation. This is for some students who don't have enough independent ability. So if their school provide accommodation for them, they don't need to spend too much time on their transportation and their accommodation. They can focus on the learning. That's all our presentation. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?
Student councils, do you have any questions? Yes? No? No? Okay. Dean, do you have any question? Mr. Jazzy?
Oh, no, because because okay, just one question. But before that, I just want to say that you all did very well. I'm surprised. Wang Yitong can talk for the first time. Now, you mentioned only about the living situation of the students.
Yes.
But do you all ever think about, because I don't know your name, what
Xue Dan.
you mentioned that students keep to themselves,
Yeah.
right? The Vietnamese with the Vietnamese, the Chinese with the Chinese, the Indonesians with the Indonesians because of their language capability. But do you do any research to find out how you all can actually become together? You know what I mean? Irrespective whether you are Chinese, whether you are Vietnamese, is there any way where all the students from the different countries can come here and then become one, become UOG students?
That is why we do the survey about our learning group activity. Sorry.
Because you never mentioned that how.
Sorry, maybe I have to.
How you can make this integration between all the different students from the different countries to be one?
We just go to set up like different learning group activity to make people together. Like they can organize students to do the volunteer job, or they can make some book club, or like reading exchange meeting,
Yeah, you never mentioned this one. That's why I was waiting and waiting. You are more concerned about how they during the first year they want to adapt to the new environment.
Yes.
But never mentioned about the group trying to integrate with each other.
Sorry, I missed that details. The school can set up those activity for the students to let them in, like just like I mentioned, just like I told you before, like volunteer job or exchange meeting, like sharing their own opinion. That is a communicate between like students with different cultural background, because they can earn extra score from this group activity. That's why we're using this way to encourage students to be active with schoolwork, because we want to improve their English, including their communication skills and how you talk to people and how you control your life. Because only you can talk, and after that you can build a relationship with others, and you can better control your life. That is our point to set up this.
Because as a faculty member, we are also a stakeholder.
Yeah.
We also want to see you all as one, right?
Yeah.
Because right now we have the Indonesian group, the Chinese society, is it? The council member, and then the Vietnamese, they have their own group, and they always stay within their own group, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see a Vietnamese boy holding a hand of a Chinese girl, you know, that kind of thing, so that you all can be integrated and become one.
Yeah.
But so far we have not seen any of those things happening.
Yeah, so that is why we find this and we got the proposal about this. We have to change this.
Yeah, you all should change, huh?
Yeah, we should. It's good to get people together. We can know each other, and I think this is the chance to get to know about ourselves, like create the opportunity to yourself to find what kind of person you are. Maybe you talk with outside or with foreigner, you want to find different like personality. So that's why we had a proposal about this, our group.
Mr. Justin Winter and I say you are very good.
Thank you.
I have a lot of questions. Don't thank me. First thing first, we go into depression. What are the two main types of depression?
Depression.
Yeah, what are the two main types of depression?
Two main types of depression. We didn't think too much about like this. We just said depression can affect how you feel, the way you
If
think.
you don't identify the two main types of depression, how are you going to find a solution?
Main types.
You go to the next slide. The next slide, there are 3 arrows.
This one? This one?
No.
This one?
Is that
No.
all? No.
This one?
No, the
No.
vision.
Oh, solution.
Solution.
You have not identified the 2 main types of depression. You just use depression as a generic to go and find a solution, which is wrong.
Okay.
The 2 main types of depression are clinical and technical. So in your mindset, is it belonging to clinical or is it technical?
I think it's clean.
It's not, it's technical.
Okay.
It's the environment of the school that is the trigger of depression.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
2, your sample size. What's the sample size? You give me percentage, beautiful. But what is the sample size?
Your survey. No, sample size, your chart.
The number of people you interview.
So how many people? What's the sample size?
Like over 50.
So it's 51, 52, 53, 54, 59.
Like we don't count the
If you don't count, how do you get a percentage?
50, 50.
50.
You sure it's 50?
Think so, 50.
Yeah, we like.
So with the questions and the solution, have you validate? Any validation done?
You mean this one?
The validation of the problems as the depression and the solution. Have you validated?
Evaluation. Huh?
Validate.
Sorry. What do you mean?
Not
by
done.
that?
Not done. Okay.
Okay.
How do you verify or qualify self-care and self-confidence?
You mean self-confidence?
You say you want to split the student into 2 main groups, right? Self-care and self-confidence. Right? So how do you verify them?
Sir, can you repeat?
No. Not this. Move forward. Move forward. Yes. No self-care ability, no self-control. How do you verify, how do you qualify the students?
Is some of students just going out to another country so they cannot.
No, how do you verify, how do you qualify them as no self-care, no self-control? So how do you classify her? Is it no self-care or no self-control? What are the criteria to qualify that?
No, the student residents can have all the students, not just like.
Listen to my question.
Yeah.
How do you verify or qualify students that no self-care ability or no self-control?
Oh. For no self care ability, student residents can teach them like how to take.
How do you verify them or qualify them?
How you group them? You know what it's trying to say is how you get this student under this one or the other group of students under
No
this
need to
one.
no need to get student under.
Okay, last question. Funding. So how much fund do we need for the investor to set up this residential area?
It depends if they cooperate and if they build on their own is different.
You know, getting a piece of land in Singapore is expensive. You need to build out costs.
Yeah, that we also explained this is a worth investment because they
Yes,
can,
I know. How much?
$1 million,
We don't know how much.
million over I think more than $1 million.
There's a lot of loopholes in the presentation. Anyway, look into my questions. Go and find out. I want to know.